Anybody out there? Hello. Okay. I'm gonna start anyways. So this is very important. It's something I wanted to share because I've kind of made some of these mistakes, and some of these things have been a drawback in my life, and I am just simply trying to reach somebody out there and help them. Okay. So I mean, most of you guys know. Um, I'm not gonna say I've been single for 3 years, okay? But you know, when I left my ex, I was alone for a whole, I think, a year and a half, almost 2 years, okay, almost 2 years. And during this period, okay, I didn't care for dating. You know, I mean, my situation was a hot mess, messy, messy, messy. So I didn't care for dating. I didn't even care to look in a man's direction. This time was a time for me to just be alone, to heal, and to figure who I am and to find myself. Because, you know, sometimes when you're in a bad relationship, you tend to lose your identity in that relationship, okay? So this was a time for me to really figure out who I am, to connect to God. I spent a lot of time in prayer and meditation and just praying to God. And during this time too, I took my journal, okay? I took my journal and I wrote down um, everything I wanted, you know, every character that I wanted this man to have. I mean everything to the last detail, okay? So, and oftentimes when we manifest, we just kind of like put it out there and we just pray that God would align us with that person, okay? So when you've been through this healing process, it was a very painful process, you guys. I mean, this 2 years I'm talking about was a lot of tears. I cannot even begin to tell you. It was a lot of crying, a lot of every night just screaming. I used to cry, screaming to God like somebody would actually come and save me. But no, there was nobody coming to save me. It was just some of those things just needed to lift out and come out and, you know, so I can be whole, okay? So when you become whole and you speak to God and you say, okay, now I'm ready for this partner. I'm ready to receive. When you're ready to receive, you have to open up your heart to receive this partner that God has for you. Okay? And I'm going to tell you the reason why you're supposed to do this. Most of us go out there and we're searching for a partner, but we haven't healed. We're not ready to open up our hearts and just love this person unconditionally, right? We're still unhealed. We're still in fear, okay? Because the last relationship didn't go so well. So now we have this fear. And when we meet this new person, we start to project that fear from the previous relationship. And then what ends up happening, that relationship ends or whatever happens. And then now you're back in a spiral, okay? You're back, in a hole and you want to start over again. And you're like, oh, there's not any good men out there and everything. A lot of times it's just self-sabotage on our end, okay? You are the person that is responsible for healing yourself and becoming whole. So when you meet the person that God is going to align with you, that you are ready to receive them and love them unconditionally. Because this whole journey of healing and becoming whole is a journey of learning how to love unconditionally, okay? This is not where you spend time on your own and heal yourself and then go out there and start giving conditions. No. God is going to give you somebody because God is saying, you have healed, you've done your work. Now I'm going to give you somebody that needs healing. So can you help them to heal? And part of helping them to heal is loving them unconditionally, okay? So my point being, and I know, guys, I go off a tangent a lot, but my point being here is when God matches you with that person, just love them, okay? This has been my experience. A lot of men they're not very giving when it comes to emotions, okay? So you're going to get into a relationship and us women, I don't know about you, but I'm the type of person that will be telling a man how much I love him. Man, I am not sleeping at night because I'm thinking about you 24/7. Like, I'm not hiding my emotions. I don't got time for that. You understand what I'm saying? I just don't have time. Like, if I'm feeling somebody, I'm telling them exactly how I feel. And if my energy pushes them away, then so be it. It's okay. I'm good with that. Okay? So that's who I am. And that's part of the healing journey, is you just become this person that is just giving. Okay? I mean, you're giving of everything. Okay? You become a giver to issues. You become a giver of yourself. You become a giver of your emotions. You're not holding anything back. Now, what most men do is, you could tell him you love him 1,000 times, and maybe he'll just be like, oh, okay, thank you. And so then you go back and you're like, I don't understand this man. Like, I just told him, I just poured my heart out to him, and he just said thank you. Now, when you're not healed, that is going to mess with your ego terribly, okay? And chances are, the next morning you're going to wake up and you're going to toss this relationship to the curb, because you're like, I just poured out my whole heart to him. I told him how I feel. I'm crazy about him. And all he said was thank you. If there are men out here watching, they'll tell you, men are not very easily giving of emotions. Unless you meet a man who has embraced his feminine side, okay? Because a lot of men are like very masculine in nature. So if you meet a man that has embraced that feminine side of him, and that's the type of man that will call you at midday and be like, oh, babe, you know what? I'm really having a bad day, so I need to come and talk to you. And then the moment he walks into the door, he's just going to come and lay on your lap and just start crying, because this is somebody that has embraced that feminine side of them. So they are very okay with giving of what they feel. But most of these men out there, they just won't say it. So if you come out and you're like, oh, I love you so much, I can't sleep at night and ABCD, it's okay. It's fine. God, if you're operating from a soul level, that is okay. In fact, you should be telling these people how you feel, okay? And I'm going to tell you the reason why, okay? Guys, love is an energy, okay? So if you get into love, walking like a chameleon, you know how a chameleon walks? It's very strategic about its movement, okay? It's one little step in front of the other. One little step in front of the other. So if you're coming into the relationship doing this strategic thing, one little step, you're tiptoeing into the relationship, that's the energy you're giving to the man. He's also going to start tiptoeing into the relationship. And in the end, it just becomes frustrating for both of you. So the reason why you want to become healed and become whole is that you can just love without expectation. That you can tell this man that I love you so much and I'm just so crazy over you. And if he says thank you, it should not bother you. And I'm going to tell you why in a little bit, okay? This thing should not bother you. Trust me, don't go to bed and think about it like I'm just wasting my time. I'm pouring in a bottomless pit. No, you're not, okay? You're making a good investment, because men tend to be very slow, okay? So with time, don't give up. If you're trust me, if you're crazy about somebody, let them know you're crazy about them. Believe me when I tell you, and try it. You will come back and you'll be like, you know what, Ivy, that was so right. Do not give up, because most of us are operating from the ego, and the ego feels insulted. Like, I just told you this, and now you're just telling me thank you. Like, what the hell? It's okay, okay? You tell him that you love him today and he says thank you, that's fine. You tell him you love him tomorrow and he says thank you, that's fine. In your heart, if this is the man you're crazy about, you're going to keep telling him you love him, because eventually you're going to crack his heart open to where he can actually now tell you how he feels, to where he can pour his emotions into you. And let me tell you, ladies, let me tell you, the day you can get a man to actually tell you all these things that are trouble. And I'll tell you what, I don't care about, the things we see on the outside. I want to know the things that doesn't make a man sleep at night. Then I know I got him. Then I know this thing is solid. Okay? If he trusts you enough to tell you his issues that are keeping him awake at night, then that's it. That's it. You got it. All right? So my point is, if you're a female currently in a relationship and you feel like, I love this man and I've tried everything, what's the worst thing that can happen? If you're healed, don't be mad at somebody walking out on you or, the relationship didn't work. Why do you want to be in a relationship that's not going to work anyway? There's no need. There's just really no need, okay? So if you proclaim this love to somebody and all that and they still come back and they're not feeling you, that's okay. Let them go so that they can make way for the right person to come into your life, okay? Sometimes God does that because how ready are you? Unconditional love is not about, I'm going to love you if you're going to love me back. I'm going to love you if you're going to do this for me. Unconditional love is just, let me love you without expectation. Whether you're doing it for me or not doing it for me, I just love you. All right? So that's pretty much what I wanted to share, guys. I hope this helps someone. So if you're in that kind of relationship, I'm hoping I'm speaking to somebody. If you're in a relationship where you feel you're very giving of your emotions, but your partner is not opening up to you, they're not there yet, don't give up. Trust me, don't give up. Now, on conditions that you have prayed to God and you understand that this is your divine partner. That's also key. Like, that is huge. Oftentimes, God is going to speak to you and let you know this is the person for you. Now, it's up to you to put in the work. It's up to you to not give up on that connection. Yeah, that's the final thing is you got to know that you have a connection with this person. Now, I'm not pouring out my emotions if I know I don't have a connection with you. I'm just wasting my time. But yeah, I'm talking about this is a divine partner. Because oftentimes when a person is your divine partner, one of the partners knows this is my divine partners and the other one doesn't. So it's up to the one that knows to embrace this connection, to nurture it, and to see it grow. All right? So if you've already prayed to God and God brought somebody onto your path and you're sure this is your person, because if you ask God for signs, He's going to show you the signs. So if you've prayed about it and God has shown you the signs, it's now your turn to just nurture the connection, because at this point you're a healed person. You have learned how to love, how to give, even if you don't receive, okay? Your job is just to give, just to love. Eventually, it's going to turn around for you. And trust me, once that clock turns around, this man is going to act like never before. It will be like, oh my God, like, is this me? Like, is this man opening doors for me? And you got to put in the work, all right? So if you're single, don't go out there self-sabotaging your connections. If you're ready to love, open up your heart and don't move in fear. Just open up your heart. If you're meeting people that are coming into your life and going, it's fine, let them go. But that's going to give you a chance to let the right person walk in and just take the time, love them unconditionally as God loves you or as you love your children. Because I saw a post out there the other day that said women can only love their children and their pets unconditionally. No, we're supposed to love our partners unconditionally too. So I hope that helps somebody. Please share the video if it resonates. All right, guys, I love you and happy Sunday.